So let me conclude with two quotes that come to mind. In your introduction on where we are, it brought to mind a quote from John Gardner. You don't know this name, but John Gardner used to be the former Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare when we had an HEW. And he wrote a book called The Recovery of Confidence. And that's really what is relevant today. How do we recover our confidence as a society that is trying to promote a greater good? And he said the problem is that our institutions have become caught in a savage crossfire between unloving critics and uncritical lovers. And it was a wonderful phraseology, saying at one end of the spectrum we had those who were simply critical of government, saw nothing good that could come from it, were trying to protect whatever status quo they could and fight every ounce of reform that they could. At the other end were the uncritical lovers, people who saw everything that was good and wanted no change. So how do you come up with loving critics? That really is the challenge for us. How do we become loving critics, understanding that we've got great institutions, we have, I think, the greatest democracy on the planet, given all of our problems, and yet we have to be critical of those institutions that no longer work. We have to be critical of programs that no longer are viable. And so we have to be loving critics, and that certainly is the challenge. And I would conclude with just my favorite quote is from Walter Lippmann. Walter Lippmann, a great essayist and someone who was a confidant of many presidents over the years. But in one of his essays, he said something, he quoted actually, an address that he gave to his 30th reunion of the class of 1910 at Harvard. And he looked out at his classmates as I looked out at my 50th reunion. But he looked out at his classmates and he said, you know, every time we had a tough decision to make, we took the easy way out. And after World War I, we broke open the champagne bottles, we drinking the bubbly and enjoying our lives while there was a mechanized evil at loose throughout Europe. He said, this is the standard to which the wise shall now repair. You took the good things for granted, and now you must earn them again. So for every right that you claim, you have a duty you must perform. For every hope that you entertain, there's an obligation you must fulfill. And for every good that you wish to achieve, you must sacrifice your comfort and your ease, because there's nothing for nothing any longer. Those words spoken in 1940 on the edge of World War II are just as relevant today. We have taken the good things for granted. We can't do that anymore. We have rights, we have duties, we have hopes, we have obligations. For every good that we wish to entertain, we must sacrifice our comfort and ease. Thank you very much.